in my estimations, it's just not time for Bobby Lashley to lose. This guy got too much momentum, and like
Yeah.
I said, he's like Xerxes dripping in gold. It's going to be hard to stop.
I agree with you, and I think that unfortunately for guys like Drew right now, Drew's just a victim of poor timing because at any other moment, Drew would be the WWE champion, hands down, no questions asked. That's the guy you run with. He's got the book out. He's got the story. He's got the look. He's got all. But Lashley is just, he's doing such a hell of a job. You cannot convince me that the idea wasn't, okay, we'll put the title on Miz, then we'll put on Lashley, and then we'll let Drew win it at WrestleMania in front of the fans, right? You can't tell me that wasn't the plan. Had to have been the plan. And then they saw, whoever they is, the powers that be saw Bobby running with this thing, and it works perfectly. Him and Envy, great pair. Bobby's putting in the best matches, best performance. He's gained that championship confidence to where he has really taken over in the ring. This is a guy who's working like a veteran, working like a general, looks like the heavyweight champion, walks, acts, and wrestles like the heavyweight champion. And he needs to hold on to that thing until we can have the match with him and Brock. And I don't even care who wins that match. I just want that match for the title, him and Brock. You know, Bobby should win it, but I don't care who wins. That'd be a great match.
I mean, it's definitely a match that's, just hanging. It's in the wing, just lurking. You know what I mean? It's like a cloud just hovering, hanging in the wings.
You remember when they were trying to make the Floyd and Conor fight, and you were kind of like, I don't know if they're going to make it. And the thing I said was, I just feel like there's too much money there to ignore it. That's what I feel like with Bobby and Brock. I just feel like there's too much money there. It's too much money. You get all kinds of fans, MMA fans, Bellator fans, UFC fans, old school wrestling fans, new school wrestling fans. I mean, it's everything. It's everything you want in a match.
I mean, it's definitely a marquee match. It's definitely a match that's WrestleMania worthy.
Yes.
And the reason I think it would really be good is because Brock Lesnar, as a pro wrestler, has come into his own. He knows how to go out and really work like a seasoned veteran, and
yes.
like he's grizzled. Bobby Lashley has stepped up as far as his psychology, his aggressiveness, just that raw edge that you see when the guy is doing his business. So together, I think those two guys I think that would be one of the best big men matches we've ever seen in the business, just because both of those guys know how to work now at this level.
And think about how many times they've tried to do like the prototypical looking guys going against each other, like the big guy versus the big guy. A lot of times those matches don't pay off like you want them. But in this case, both these guys are legit athletes. They're not just big dudes. They're legit athletes. Both of them MMA backgrounds, amateur wrestling backgrounds. Didn't Bobby wrestle in the Army or something like that? So yeah, these guys are legit as humanly possible. So I think that they match up so well. They match up so well, and
as well as just say for instance, they match up from a wrestling perspective, then they match up from a mixed martial arts perspective as well.
Yes.
So the match will have so many different dynamics in it, and all of it will be as close to real as you possibly can feel with two guys like that out there actually doing it, because both of them are believable and both of them are legitimate, tough guys, legitimate fighters. So I think the world is waiting on that fight, like a Pacquiao, Mayweather. And I'm hoping that we don't wait too long like we did with Pacquiao and Mayweather, and it was nowhere near what it could have been if those guys would have pulled the trigger. So just say, for instance, 5 years or sooner than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but right now, I mean, I remember when Bobby came back in, and what was that, 2017, 2018, somewhere around there? When he came back in, everyone was like, oh, they should do Brock versus Bobby. They should do Brock versus Bobby. But it wasn't time then.
No, it wasn't time.
The time is now. Time is now.
Time is now, but, it's got to be something that's got to be done. That's got to be done right.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think it can be done like from a UFC call out.
No.
I want Brock Lesnar. I don't think it. I don't think it could happen like that. You know what I mean? Go ahead, RDA.
No, RDAB just said Lashley and Lesnar match up so well they even have the same initials. You know, Brock BL and BL.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just everything about that. But you're right. It has to be set up the right way.
Yeah.
And how would you? Well, we don't have enough time, but I just would like to know how you would book that. Like, how do you introduce the match? Is it just they just end up facing off against one another, or Bobby is in the ring and then the music hits and Brock walks out? They just stare at each other. Match gets set up that way. I don't know how you do it. Whatever it is, I just want to see it.
Stick around. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Talking about Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. Hopefully a match that we will see.
I don't know.
But here's the other thing. Oh my gosh, here's the other thing. If they do this at SummerSlam, that probably will have fans in the building, right?
Perhaps.
I mean, this is August.
Well, actually, that's what they're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading that they're by August, into July, August, they're going to be back to having fans in the building. And we'll talk about having fans in the building, I'm sure, in a minute when we get to the UFC. But this would be, Brock Lesnar historically has owned SummerSlam. If you go look at the last 7 SummerSlams, he's probably in the main event of it, and he probably rocked the house. Yeah, I can think of one with Cena, Taker, I think Triple H one year, CM Punk, Randy Orton. That's just off the top of my head. He's always owned that show. I even think Braun Strowman and him headlined one year. So to have Brock versus Bobby at SummerSlam main event with put it in a stadium, sell 50,000 tickets. We're all going to be vaccinated by then. Biden said we open up on the 4th of July. You know what I mean? Let's do it up. Let's do it big, and sell that thing out. It's the biggest. How crazy is this? Because I didn't think that we'd say this at the beginning of this year. It's the biggest money match right now that you can make.
Yeah, I think a really good setup there. Again, Bobby Lashley is going to have to be put in a total dominant situation for Brock Lesnar to even want to, come back and get a piece of the action, get some of that smoke. So I remember a match I was in, and you said Brock Lesnar showing up, and you hearing that music, and Paul Heyman's there by his side. That picture right there, it's worth the price of admission. But I remember working Big Show and John Cena in the Champion of Champions match, and the thing is, nobody thought I was going to win that match. Nobody, if it was money in Vegas on that match, I don't think too many people had odds on Booker T walking out that match, the Champion of Champions. And for Bobby Lashley to be in a match somewhat like that, Champion of Champions match, and then actually win it in a dominant fashion, MVP cutting a great promo, on the world, as far as Bobby Lashley being, the almighty, and then the music hit. Oh man, that right there. I could get goosebumps.
Money.
Something like something like that I could buy into. That's money. Of course, nothing needs to be said. But like you say, a stare down, and then we build the angle from that.
And you have MV and Paul, who got to give great promos on either side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or that even could be how you build it.
The thing is, I'm scared it might get to the point to where MV and Paul Heyman may have to have a match to pick the stipulation.
No, I don't want to do that. Let's not go down that route. But I can imagine though, MV,
Wait a minute. You can't see that happening?
No, I can see it happening. It doesn't mean I don't want it to happen. There's a difference. But we just saw zombies at the pay-per-view. Of course I can see it happening. I can see it happening. I can see the stipulation being picked on TikTok. Anything can happen in this company. But my point is, I can see, like you said, though, MV cuts the promo on the world. And then, nobody can stand up to the almighty Bobby Lashley, the WWE champion. And that's when you hear Heyman go, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And, cuts the promo. And I think there is somebody that he's the beast incarnate. God, it'd be so great. We need to have it.
What? I think the music just hitting without Paul Heyman.
Without Paul? Either way, I don't care, Book. I just want to see the match.
Music, then Paul come out and cut the promo. But we need the music. It has a certain, allure to it. It makes you.
It's true.
you know who it is, and you go, oh my goodness, this it's like, you know, Godzilla and King Kong. You know this is going to be the fight of all fights. This is the mega fight right here. As far as the heavyweight of today's era go, those two guys, they're it. They're it. They're top notch. So for me, I would love to see it happen. Definitely.
Oh, man.
What's up? This Booker T, two-time Hall of Famer. I know you're checking out the Shine, checking out the Gloss. I want to thank you guys for checking out Row on YouTube. Hey, don't forget to click and subscribe to check out all the latest content right here each and every week. Now, can you dig that, sucker?